For a long time, people thought of water as just a simple, lifeless thing, a formula, a resource, just H2O. But one man saw it differently. His name was Masaru Emoto. While many thought he was crazy or unscientific, his photos showed something science wasn't ready to accept. Water actually responds to the human spirit. Years after he passed away, a dusty lab in Tokyo uncovered a red-covered notebook. On the front was one word, Saigo, meaning the last. Inside were pages full of thoughts he never shared with the world. The first line said, "Water listens." But what he never told anyone is that water also remembers, feels, and changes. Every drop carries the memory of the universe, and we're its unaware guardians. Emoto's work only scratched the surface. He showed how water crystals form beautiful patterns after hearing words like, "thank you," but break apart at hateful words. What he kept secret until the end was this: water doesn't just reflect who we are. It magnifies it and sends it back to us, even stronger. Our bodies are mostly water, but also pure energy. This isn't just some story. It's like water itself reshapes us from the inside out. Now that you've read this, you can't think of water as just water anymore. This is Masaru Emoto's hidden truth. Chapter 1. The Memory of Water. I remember that day in 1994 like it was yesterday. For months, I'd been freezing pure water samples, hoping to prove what my gut was telling me. Water was way more than just hydrogen and oxygen. It was like my soul knew something my science brain couldn't figure out yet. Day after day, I saw broken, lifeless crystals. My coworkers started whispering that I'd lost it, chasing illusions. But on January 25th, something changed. I took a sample of water, not just filtered or distilled, but charged with my deepest intention. For a whole hour, I quietly whispered the word love to it, opening my heart completely, letting every part of me vibrate with that feeling. Then I froze it at 20 degrees, holding onto hope like a thin golden thread. Looking through the microscope, my heart stopped. The crystal was perfect, symmetrical, glowing like a six-pointed star holding the universe's beauty inside its shape. The light it reflected wasn't from the lab's bulbs. It came from somewhere deeper, more sacred. Tears came to my eyes, not sadness, but awe. I realized I was witnessing a miracle. This wasn't an accident. Water was responding to the highest vibration in the cosmos. In that moment, I understood water listens with a sensitivity beyond any living thing. It remembers every word, feeling, and intention it receives, storing it like a never-ending library in its molecules. Each drop holds the wisdom of oceans, the purity of clouds, the strength of rivers, and now my love. For so long, science treated water as dead, lifeless matter, just a chemical solvent without feeling or memory. But I'd found its deepest secret. Water has memory, consciousness, and feelings. Every drop we drink, every tear we shed, every raindrop falling on the earth carries the full vibrational record of everything since the universe began. Water is the living archive of universal consciousness, silent but always aware of everything. Since that discovery, my life changed forever. I started a ritual that transformed how I connect with this sacred element flowing through me. Every morning before sunrise, when the world is quiet and energy is pure, I hold a glass of crystal clear water in my hands. I close my eyes and speak to it as if it were my closest friend, my soul sister, my quiet teacher. I thank it for its amazing ability to remember love and help my body become a temple of peace and light. I ask it to carry my best intentions to every cell, to cleanse not just my body but also my darkest thoughts and feelings. This simple practice changed the water's molecular structure, and through it, changed me on every level. When you honor water's sacred memory with respect, it honors the memory of your soul, creating perfect crystals inside you, shining through as radiant health, unshakable peace, and endless love for all life on this planet. Chapter 2. The Words That Change. Water. After my first discovery shook up how I saw the world, I spent years digging deeper. I wanted to find out which other words could actually change water's molecular structure. It felt like I'd found a master key to a cosmic temple, and now I had to explore all its hidden rooms. One rainy afternoon in April, as drops tapped softly against my lab window, I decided to test the two words my gut told me were the most powerful in any language: love and thank you. I prepared 2 identical samples of pure, clear distilled water. To the first sample, I whispered love for 30 minutes, letting my heart open wide like a bright sun, feeling each word like a gentle vibration. To the second, I said thank you, with the same care and time, this time from a place of deep humility, grateful for the gift of life. When I froze both samples and looked at them under the microscope, I was speechless. The crystal from love was perfectly shaped, like it had been made by angels, with 6 balanced points shining with their own light, each side like a window to something greater. But the crystal from thank you blew me away even more. It was more detailed and complex, like gratitude was the secret to perfect form in matter. In that moment, I realized that these 2 words, love and thank you, are like the universe's fundamental frequencies, the vibration water understands best. It didn't matter what language the words came from, water responded to the pure feeling behind them. It was as if the universe was built on these 2 basic vibrations, and water was the perfect translator between invisible emotions and the physical world. For months, I kept repeating these tests with many other words. I found that when words come from the heart with real feeling, water forms amazingly beautiful crystals. But if the words are said without emotion, just empty sounds, water stays indifferent, making rough, lifeless shapes. Water doesn't just hear words. It listens to the soul behind them. This discovery inspired me to create what I call the Sacred Water Prayer, a simple practice that has changed the lives of thousands who try it. Whenever you're about to drink water, hold the glass gently like it's the universe's most precious gift. Look deep into it and quietly say with all your heart, "Thank you for cleansing my body. Thank you for healing my soul. I love you, sacred water. Please transform every cell in me into perfect light." Feel those words flow from your heart to your lips, and from your lips into the water, building a special connection between your spirit and the life-giving water. When you do this prayer, you don't just change the water you drink. You wake up the memory of the water already inside you. Since your body is mostly water, it begins to vibrate with love and gratitude, becoming a living temple where every thought, feeling, and word you speak creates perfect crystals. These crystals show up as glowing health, deep peace, and a strong connection to the universe's endless wisdom. Because when you honor water with love and thanks, it honors you back with the miracle of your full transformation. Chapter 3. The Curse of Unspoken Words. After months of exploring the amazing beauty water showed in response to kind words, my scientific mind knew it was time to face the full truth, even if it broke my heart. One cloudy November morning in Tokyo, with the sky heavy like a dark blanket, I made the hardest choice of my career. I would expose water to the most harmful vibrations humans can send out, I prepared 3 pure water samples, each as clear and fresh as a newborn soul. To the first, I spoke hateful words for 30 long minutes. "I hate you. You're ugly. You disgust me." Each phrase felt like a poisoned knife stabbing the water. Even though I was doing it for science, it felt like I was hurting a dear friend. To the second sample, I gave total silence. No words, no looks, no attention at all. The third was my control sample. It didn't get any words or silence, just left alone. The results broke my heart and opened my eyes to a frightening truth we all need to face. The water that heard hateful words formed ugly, broken crystals, like shattered glass, dark and twisted, as if every molecule soaked up the poison and showed it in its shape. But what shocked me the most was the silent water. It also formed broken crystals, but in a different way, like silence itself was a quiet, powerful kind of harm. Ignoring or rejecting someone can hurt just as badly as insults. That painful moment taught me something important. Every cruel word we say, every hateful thought we hold, every moment we shut others out with coldness doesn't just hurt them. It literally damages the water inside our own bodies. Since we're about 70% water, every insult we throw out comes back to us like an invisible boomerang, turning into broken crystals inside us that show up as sickness, sadness, anxiety, or feeling disconnected from life. For weeks after that experiment, I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing those shattered crystals in my mind, like ghosts accusing me. I watched people around me, hearing a mother yell at her child, "You're useless," and imagined their water twisting inside right then. I saw couples fight and pictured their cells filling with jagged crystals that would later cause pain and illness, both in body and mind. The worst part was realizing how much harm I had done to myself over the years with my own negative self-talk. Every time I told myself, "I'm a failure, I'm worthless, I'm too old," I was poisoning the water inside me, creating a tiny hell in my own body. This awareness led me to create what I call the verbal purification ritual, a simple but powerful practice to undo years of damage. Every night before bed, I sit with a glass of pure water and ask forgiveness for all the harsh words I said that day, to others and to myself. I say, "Please forgive me, sacred water, for letting my judgments and harsh words pollute your purity. Help me change every toxic vibration I've made into love and kindness." Then I drink slowly, feeling each drop carry that message of healing to every part of me. I also developed a habit I call the word guardian. Before I say anything negative, I pause and ask myself, will these words create beautiful crystals or broken ones inside the water that makes up all of us? That simple question has saved me from poisoning many moments with harmful energy. Remember this deeply. Every word you speak is like a prayer that shapes reality. When you speak with love, you create beauty in the world. When you speak with hate, you create pain and damage. Water silently records our intentions and makes our words real in our bodies and everything around us. Our words don't just matter morally or ethically. They literally create and change things at the tiniest level. Every sound we make shapes the universe, starting with the sacred water flowing inside us, the river of life itself. Chapter 4. The Music of the Soul. Music is a universal language that water understands without needing words. Each note is like a vibrant prayer that shapes the crystals in water, sometimes building beautiful cathedrals, other times creating chaotic patterns. One spring afternoon, as I watched cherry blossoms outside my lab window, a Mozart tune softly played on my assistant's radio. Suddenly, a strong feeling hit me like a flash of lightning. If water reacts to human words, what would happen if I played it the most beautiful music ever made by humans? It felt like the universe was guiding me toward the next step in my research. I started with the music that had inspired me since I was a kid, the timeless works of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. I prepared 5 pure water samples, each waiting like a blank canvas for music to paint on. I put the first sample near a speaker and played Mozart's Symphony No. 40 in G minor for 2 hours. The music filled the room with perfect harmony, and I could feel my own body vibrating along with those beautiful frequencies. When I froze the water and looked at it under the microscope, I was amazed. The crystal was incredibly elegant, with perfect geometric shapes that looked like they were designed by angels who inspired Mozart. Each side shined like a note in a visual symphony, forming hexagons of flawless symmetry, as if the music taught the water the secrets of divine math. Encouraged by this, I kept exploring music's effect on water for months. I played samples Beethoven, Bach, Chopin, and Vivaldi, and every classical composer created unique, beautiful crystals. Beethoven's Ninth Symphony built strong, powerful structures like mountains made of light. Bach's Goldberg variations wove intricate patterns like a cosmic math problem where every note was sacred. I learned that classical music is water's native language, the vibration it recognizes as pure harmony. But my curiosity pushed me to try the opposite. With a nervous heart, I played samples heavy metal and hard rock, loud guitars and angry lyrics filled with rage and destruction. The results shocked me. The crystals were completely chaotic, shattered and ugly, like water tortured by the harsh sounds, showing pain in every broken shape. This showed me that music isn't just entertainment or art. It's a creative force that actually shapes reality at the tiniest level. Every song we hear, every beat we take in, molds the water inside our bodies, our feelings, and even our thoughts. We're like living instruments, vibrating with every musical note we allow in. One week, I did a personal experiment that changed my life. I stopped listening to any harsh music and only surrounded myself with peaceful classical pieces, Bach at breakfast, Mozart during work, Vivaldi in quiet evening moments. After 7 days, I felt calmer, lighter, clearer, and my heart was more open to love. From this, I created what I call sacred water music therapy, a simple practice that has helped thousands worldwide. Each morning before your day starts, place a glass of pure water near some peaceful classical music. Let Mozart, Bach, or Beethoven fill the water for at least 30 minutes while you quietly meditate, letting those same vibrations transform your energy. Then drink the water slowly and respectfully, feeling every sip carry the perfect harmony of the universe into your body. I also developed a practice I call listening with the water, which means remembering that about 70% of you is water, always absorbing every sound around you. Before any music plays, ask yourself, will this create beautiful crystals in my body, or broken ones? Will this raise my energy or bring it down? Be a careful guardian of your sound world, because every note you hear shapes your physical and emotional reality. Remember this deeply. Your body is like an ocean of conscious water, always vibrating with the music around you. When you choose to listen only to uplifting, harmonious sounds, your inner water starts forming perfect crystal patterns, bringing glowing health, deep peace, and a real connection to the cosmic music that moves stars and planets in their endless dance of universal love. Chapter 5. We are 70% water, but 100% vibration. The moment I realized that every cell in our bodies is like a tiny ocean, always moving to the rhythm of our thoughts, words, and feelings, everything I believed about human life changed. I saw that we're not just physical bodies having spiritual experiences. We are vibrating beings creating liquid realities. The biggest discovery of my career came one cold winter morning as I looked at thousands of photos of water crystals I collected over years of study. I was surrounded by pictures showing how water reacts to every kind of human vibration. Words of love creating perfect geometric mandalas. Classical music shaping glowing cathedrals of light. Thoughts of gratitude blossoming into beautiful six-petaled flowers. Suddenly, I felt something so powerful I shook for hours. If water outside our bodies reacts so strongly to our vibrations, what's happening inside the water that makes up our own cells? In that moment, I understood the most revolutionary truth I've ever known. Every person is basically a walking ocean. About 45 liters of conscious water spread across billions of cells. These cells act like smart liquid crystals, instantly responding to every thought, word, feeling, musical note, and vibration we let into our energy field. We aren't just 70% water. We are 100% vibration, made real through the universe's most sensitive and responsive medium, sacred water. In the months that followed, I ran experiments that completely changed how I think about health and illness. I tested water from people in different emotional and physical states. Those deeply depressed, glowing with joy, suffering chronic sickness at peak athletic form, peaceful elders, and lively children. The results were so clear, I had to rethink everything I knew about healing. Water from people living in love, gratitude, and peace formed crystals of heavenly beauty, perfectly symmetrical and shining like six-pointed stars. These crystal structures looked like liquid cathedrals built by divine architects, each side reflecting the harmony those people had built through years of conscious spiritual practice. In heartbreaking contrast, water from people full of hatred, fear, resentment, and despair formed broken crystals, shattered like glass, dark and twisted, as if each molecule had absorbed poison and shown it in tiny deformities. These samples seemed to silently scream the pain of their owners, proving illness starts not in the body but in the vibrational chaos contaminating our cellular water. The most eye-opening discovery came from water samples of cancer patients. Every sample showed extremely chaotic, broken crystal patterns, like their cells had completely forgotten how to be whole. But the hopeful part was that when these patients practiced deep meditation, real gratitude, and self-love, their water slowly started to heal and form more balanced, organized crystals. This led me to create what I believe is my greatest gift to humanity: the Vibrational Regeneration Protocol. It's a practice that can actually change the water inside your body, helping to heal your physical, emotional, and spiritual health from the roots. The protocol starts each morning with a sacred water ceremony. When you wake up, before your mind gets busy with the day, hold a glass of pure water in your hands like it's the most sacred cup in the universe. Look into it and say from your heart, "Sacred water inside me, please forgive all the toxic thoughts, hurtful words, and harmful feelings I've allowed to pollute your purity. From now on, I choose to honor you with love, gratitude, peace, and joy. Please transform every cell in my body into a perfect crystal of health and connection." During the day, practice what I call water-conscious breathing. With each breath in, imagine pulling love and gratitude into every part of your body's water. With each breath out, release any toxic energy polluting your inner ocean. This simple practice can change your cellular water in minutes, because water responds instantly to focused intention. At night before bed, do the nocturnal purification ritual. Place your hands over your heart and say, "Thank you, sacred water in my body, for supporting me today. I send waves of unconditional love to every cell, organ, and tissue. May you renew tonight into perfect crystals, healing and restoring all that needs it." Remember this deep truth. You are not a victim of your biology or stuck with your genetics. You are the conscious conductor of 45 liters of intelligent water, always waiting for your vibrational commands to create health or illness, beauty or damage, harmony or chaos. Every thought you choose, every word you say, every feeling you allow shapes your physical reality through the universe's most sensitive and creative medium. The divine water flowing through your veins, the river of life connecting you to the universal consciousness that moves galaxies and beats at the heart of every star. Chapter 6. When water falls ill. Disease is nothing more than the water in our bodies crying out in broken, shattered crystals, damaged by years of toxic energy that has polluted the sacred temple of our being until each cell forgets its original song of perfection and harmony. During a very dark time in my research, I faced a truth that broke my heart, but it was a truth the world needed to know. Illness doesn't start in our organs. It's not caused just by viruses or bacteria, and it's not simply bad luck in our genes. Illness begins the moment the water inside our body loses its ability to form perfect crystals, when the toxic energy from years of negative thoughts, harmful emotions, and cruel words changes the water's structure. I learned this the hardest way, through my wife Kasuko, who got a mysterious illness doctors couldn't diagnose. For months, I watched her grow weaker, losing weight, energy, and the bright light that always made her special. Medical tests showed nothing clear, but my gut told me the answer was in the water inside her. With her permission and tears in my eyes, I took tiny saliva samples and looked at them under the same microscope that had shown me so many wonders before. What I saw shattered me. The crystals were total chaos, broken and misshapen, as if each molecule was crying in pain. There was no sign of the beautiful patterns healthy water makes. It was like seeing a map of suffering, where each broken crystal showed years of stress, worries, and feelings she'd kept inside that slowly poisoned her inner ocean. But instead of giving up, I became determined. If disease is just disharmonized water, then healing has to be possible by restoring the right vibrations. Over the next weeks, Kasuko and I did an intense healing routine using everything I knew about how water changes when it gets the right energy. Every morning we sat together in deep meditation, surrounded by quartz crystals and Mozart's music filling the room. She held a glass of pure water while I spoke words of unconditional love to her. Sacred water inside my beloved wife, remember your perfect original form. Every cell in her is a divine crystal of pure light. I send waves of perfect healing, transform every broken molecule into beautiful, heavenly shapes. We repeated this for hours until I could feel the energy in the room completely shift. After 3 weeks, I took new saliva samples. I was filled with awe and hope. The crystals were healing, still not perfect, but no longer totally broken. Small areas of symmetry appeared, as if her body's water was remembering its original song of perfection. Even more miraculously, Kasuko started to feel better, gaining energy, appetite, and the glowing light she seemed to have lost forever. This healing taught me that illness happens in stages, as disharmony builds in the body's water. Stage 1. Negative thoughts create tiny distortions in the crystal structure. These early changes are small and can be fixed. Stage 2. When these thoughts mix with buried feelings, resentment, fear, guilt, despair, the distortions grow, messing up communication between cells and weakening the immune system. Stage 3. Add hurtful words we say to ourselves or others, and the water inside cells can't form clear structures. This is when physical symptoms like tiredness, pain, stomach problems, and sleep issues start. Stage 4, most dangerous. All of the above combine with toxic surroundings, polluted water, processed foods, constant exposure to harmful electronic signals, and emotional isolation. The water becomes so out of balance that cells begin to grow uncontrollably, losing their original function. But here's the most hopeful thing I've found. No matter how bad the disharmony in your body's water, it's always possible to start healing. Water can forgive and renew itself endlessly. It can erase years of damage instantly when it receives the right vibrations of love, gratitude, and respect. I developed the emergency protocol for sick water, which has saved hundreds who committed to their healing. It starts with a 21-day mental toxicity fast. For 21 days, remove from your life any thought, word, or feeling that isn't loving toward yourself and others. No criticism, judgment, complaining, obsessive worry, or negative talk about your health. At the same time, practice liquid love immersion, therapy. Every 2 hours, drink a glass of pure water while saying this healing prayer. Divine water, you are the universe's most powerful medicine. Enter my body as waves of healing light. Transform every sick cell into perfect cells. Remember the original frequency of radiant health within me. Erase all memory of disease and form only patterns of endless vitality. During these 21 days, bathe only in water that has been exposed to peaceful classical music for at least an hour. Keep a glass of water by your bed and send it thoughts of gratitude all night. Each morning, talk to your body like it's your most sacred temple. Thank every organ and send love to places that need healing. Remember this truth. Your body is an ocean of smart water, always listening to your energy signals. When you think fearful thoughts, speak words of defeat, and feel despair, it responds by forming patterns of disharmony that show up as illness. But when you think loving thoughts, speak thankful words, and feel trust in healing, it starts to rebuild every molecule toward vibrant health. Your natural, original state. Disease is just water that has temporarily forgotten its perfect song. Healing is helping it remember that its true nature is perfect harmony, endless beauty, and eternal life, reflecting the perfection of the universe itself. Chapter 7. The Water That Prays. There's a secret so sacred only water can hold it. When a person prays with a fully open heart, every water molecule within many miles responds right away, turning into crystals of light that connect earth and sky, turning prayer into a kind of divine liquid architecture. My most mystical discovery happened one winter morning in a small Buddhist temple high in the Japanese mountains. I was invited by a monk named Takeshi to witness a non-stop prayer ceremony that had been going on for over 500 years. The monks meditated and chanted from 3 a.m. until sunrise, focusing their prayers on a sacred spring flowing from the heart of the mountain. I brought my research gear, though part of me worried science might disrespect something holy. But my soul told me I was about to see something that would change how I understood reality forever. Before the ceremony, I collected water samples from the spring, beautiful but ordinary crystals, just like those from any mountain stream. Then I sat quietly and watched. As 23 monks chanted for 4 hours, their devotion filled the air. The whole place vibrated with a frequency beyond sound, a resonance that reached deep into the bones, soul, and the very core of being. Afterward, I took new water samples from the spring and later checked them in my lab. I was stunned. The crystals had changed so much they seemed from another dimension, shapes of impossible geometric complexity, like they were made by celestial architects who knew math beyond human understanding. Each crystal looked like a perfect 3D mandala, glowing with light that seemed to come from the core of matter itself, as if the prayers had woken up consciousness inside every water molecule. Even more amazing, Water samples from a stream 2 kilometers away also showed big changes, more balanced and beautiful patterns. The prayers sent waves of transformation far beyond the temple, as if every drop of water nearby was resonating with the monks' love and devotion. This discovery sent me on a journey around the world to study what I call crystallized prayer. I visited Christian monasteries in Europe, Hindu ashrams in India, Sufi mosques in Turkey, and shamanic ceremonies in South America. Wherever I found people truly devoted to deep prayer and meditation, the water around them showed crystals of otherworldly beauty. I came to see that real prayer isn't just talking to God or the divine. It's a creative act where human consciousness and water's intelligence work together to bring perfect realities into the physical world. When we pray from the heart, with true humility and unconditional love, we don't just send thoughts upward. We program the water around us to become a channel for divine energy. In my experiments, I found a huge difference between mechanical prayer and living prayer. When prayers are repeated without real feeling or openness, water hardly changes. But when prayer comes from deep inside, with love, gratitude, humility, and true surrender, water responds instantly, as if it had waited forever for that kind of devotion. The most personal change came when I turned my own life into an experiment in constant prayer. For 6 months, I made every daily action a conscious prayer. When I drank water, I thanked it for nourishing me and asked it to carry blessings to every cell. When I bathed, each drop became a prayer of cleansing and renewal. When I cooked, I blessed every ingredient and asked the water in the food to become sacred medicine for those who eat it. The results went beyond anything I hoped. My physical health improved dramatically. My mind became clearer, my emotions calmer, and my spirit more connected than ever before. Most amazing of all, people around me started experiencing unexpected positive changes, as if the transformation of water in my space was sending out waves of blessing to everyone I met. This experience inspired what I call universal water prayer. It goes beyond any one religion and is based on the universal ideas of love, gratitude, and respect that all true spiritual paths share. Here's how to practice it. Morning awakening. Water prayer. When you wake up, before getting out of bed, place your hands over your heart and say, "Sacred water inside my body, thank you for sustaining me through the night. Today, be my conscious companion in every loving thought, every blessing spoken, every act of kindness. Together, may we be instruments of healing in a world that needs to remember its divine perfection." Day-long silent prayer practice. Whenever you see water, a glass, a river, the rain, even humidity, silently send it a blessing. Be pure, be blessed, remember your sacred nature, carry healing wherever you flow. Doing this quietly and often creates a field of transformation around you, helping every person, animal, and plant you meet. Evening sacred closing prayer. Hold a glass of pure water and say, "Divine water, you have witnessed my day, my tears of joy and sorrow, every sip I drank, every drop of sweat from my efforts. Please forgive any negative energy that has polluted your purity. I send you all my love and thanks for being the vessel through which the divine flows in liquid form. Carry my prayers to every ocean, river, lake, and spring in the world, connecting me to the sacred web of water that unites all life." Understand this deeply. When you pray with true heart, you're not just talking to the divine. You're actually changing the physical world through the universe's most sensitive and powerful medium, sacred water. Every sincere prayer becomes a crystal of light that stays in the water for days, weeks, or even months, continuing to heal and transform long after the words are spoken. Your life of prayer is not just a private act. It's a cosmic service that raises the whole planet's vibration, because all the water on Earth is connected in an endless network of liquid consciousness, carrying your blessings to the edges of creation and linking your heart with the beating heart of the universe itself. Chapter 8. The Crystal Child. Children are born knowing that water listens, that every drop is like a tear of joy from the universe, and that words of thanks can turn a dirty puddle into a mirror reflecting something divine. But as they grow up, the adult world teaches them to forget this old wisdom hidden in their pure hearts. Of all the stories I've come across in my work with water, none touched me more deeply than the story of Hiroshi, an 8-year-old boy who changed how I see the natural, innocent connection between children and the living water all around us. His story came to me through his grandmother, Sakio-san, an elderly woman who had heard about my research and traveled from a small village to share what she called a miracle. Hiroshi was born into a family facing tough times. His father left when he was 3, and his mother worked 2 hard jobs just to pay rent on a tiny, run-down apartment on the outskirts of Osaka. The water in their building was contaminated. It tasted metallic and looked slightly yellow. Most neighbors bought bottled water when they could afford it, but Hiroshi had a special, almost magical relationship with that dirty water. Every morning before his mom woke up for work, Hiroshi quietly got out of bed and went to the kitchen faucet. With the calm seriousness of a monk at prayer, he filled a glass with the murky water and sat on the cold floor, holding the glass like it was the world's most precious treasure. According to his grandmother, who watched this every day for months, Hiroshi whispered softly to the water, "Good morning, dear water. Thank you for coming to our home, even though it's poor and not very nice. I know you traveled far, from the mountains and clouds, and you must be tired. I want to give you lots of love so you'll feel better and help keep Mama from getting sick when she drinks you." Then he'd close his eyes for a few minutes, as if sending some invisible, powerful energy into the water. What happened next doesn't fit normal logic. Slowly, the water Hiroshi spoke to started to change. First, the yellow tint disappeared, and the water became clearer and clearer. Then, the metallic taste went away completely. Within weeks, the tap water in their apartment was so clean and clear that neighbors asked Hiroshi's mom what kind of special filter she had. Even more surprising, the water throughout the whole building improved. People on the second floor said their long-term stomach problems got better. Older neighbors on the first floor said their joint pain eased after drinking the water they used to find barely drinkable. Even the dying plants in the building's small garden started to grow healthy and strong again. When Sakio-san told me this story, I went from being skeptical to deeply curious. I asked to meet Hiroshi and study what seemed like an amazing event. With his mother's permission, I went to Osaka with my best microscope gear. Meeting Hiroshi was beyond what I expected. He seemed like any other shy kid, but there was a bright wisdom in his eyes that felt far older than his age. When I asked him to show me how he spoke to water, he did it simply and naturally. No tricks, no special moves. Just quietly saying loving words to a glass of water like it was the most normal thing in the world. I took samples of the water before and after Hiroshi's ritual. The results blew me away. The untreated water had broken. Ugly crystals, typical for water polluted with heavy metals and chemicals, but the water, treated by Hiroshi's loving words, formed crystals so beautiful they rivaled the best ones I had ever seen, even better than distilled water exposed to classical music. It was like the pure, innocent words from a child's heart had more power to transform than any high-tech filter. During the 3 days I studied this, Hiroshi taught me lessons no science book could. He showed me that real communication with water doesn't need fancy methods, rituals, or secret knowledge. It just needs pure intention and a completely open heart. When I asked Hiroshi why he thought it worked, He gave me an answer full of simple, deep wisdom. Because water has feelings, Emoto-san. And when someone talks to it with love, it gets very happy and wants to help. This experience with Hiroshi inspired me to study children from different ages and cultures. I found that kids under 10 have a special, natural ability to communicate with water, something that slowly fades as they grow up and get shaped by school and the adult world's focus on science and facts. Children don't hesitate or question if water can really listen. They just talk to it with pure love. And water responds right away to that kind of honesty and kindness. Learning from Hiroshi and other amazing kids I met, I created what I call the Child's Heart Protocol. It's a simple practice that helps adults reconnect with that sacred, natural way of talking with the water we all had as children, but lost under doubts and rules. The protocol starts with reclaiming your innocence. Every morning before touching any water, take 5 minutes to remember how you saw the world when you were 5 years old, when you believed animals had feelings, plants could love, and even objects had souls. From that open, innocent place, approach water like a child would, with curiosity, respect, and love. Then have a simple, heart-to-heart talk with the water, just like you would with a favorite pet or a friend who needs comfort. Don't use fancy words or big ideas. Say things like, "Hello, beautiful water. Thank you for coming to me today. I love you and hope you feel happy here. Will you help me be healthier and happier?" The key is to truly feel love for the water, as if it were someone you deeply care about. Always end with the kind of gratitude a child feels when receiving a special gift. After drinking, say, "Thank you, water. You taste wonderful and make me feel great. I love you and hope to see you again tomorrow." This childlike thankfulness sends a special vibration that water instantly recognizes as real and powerful. Hiroshi's story taught me the most important lesson of my life. The deepest truth about water isn't found in fancy labs or complicated ideas. It's found in the pure heart of a child who still knows everything in the universe is alive, aware, and waiting to be loved. When we reclaim that sacred innocence and speak to water with simple, unconditional love, we don't just change the water's structure. We also transform our own souls. We reconnect with the part of us that never stopped believing in magic. The part that always knew water listens to every word, feels every feeling, and responds with endlessly beautiful crystals to every true act of love from hearts that still hold the pure, shining innocence of childhood. When I asked Hiroshi why he thought it worked, he gave me a simple but deep answer. Because water has feelings, Emoto-san. When someone talks to it with love, it gets really happy and wants to help. That moment with Hiroshi made me curious to study kids from different ages and cultures. I noticed that kids under 10 seem to have a natural gift. They can connect with water in a special way. But as they grow older and go through school and the adult world, they start to lose that connection because they focus more on science and facts. Kids don't doubt if water can listen. They just talk to it with pure love. And water responds right away to that honesty and kindness. Learning from Hiroshi and other amazing kids, I created something I call the Child's Heart Protocol. It's a simple way for adults to reconnect with that natural way of talking to water that we all had as kids, but lost because of doubts and rules. The protocol begins by finding your innocence again. Every morning before you touch any water, take 5 minutes to remember how you saw the world when you were 5. When you believed animals had feelings, plants could love, and even objects had souls. From that open, innocent place, approach water like a child, with curiosity, respect, and love. Then have a simple, heart-to-heart talk with the water, like you would with a pet or a friend who needs comfort. Don't use fancy words or big ideas. Say things like, "Hello, beautiful water. Thank you for coming to me today. I love you and hope you feel happy here. Will you help me be healthier and happier? The key is to truly feel love for the water, like it's someone you really care about. Always end with the kind of gratitude a child feels when they get a special gift. After drinking, say, "Thank you, water. You taste wonderful and make me feel great. I love you and hope to see you again tomorrow." This kind of childlike thankfulness sends a special energy that water instantly recognizes as real and powerful. Hiroshi's story taught me the most important lesson of my life. The deepest truth about water isn't found in labs or complicated theories. It's found in the pure heart of a child who still knows everything around us, is alive, aware, and waiting to be loved. When we find that sacred innocence again and talk to water with simple, unconditional love, we don't just change the water's structure, we also change ourselves. We reconnect with the part of us that never stopped believing in magic, the part that always knew water listens to every word, feels every feeling, and responds with beautiful crystals to every true act of love from hearts that still hold the pure, shining innocence of childhood. During a deep meditation by the Pacific Ocean, I had what felt like a direct message from the shared consciousness of water. It was as if every drop on earth spoke together through the waves touching my feet. Masaru, we have waited thousands of years for humans to remember who we really are. We are more than just H2O. We are the universe's liquid memory, the living record of everything cosmic. Every happy tear from a child, every raindrop that helped a good harvest, every thankful sip of water is forever stored in our structure. We carry the wisdom of the stars, the secrets of creation, and the endless love of the cosmos. When people honor us with respect and love, this energy grows and spreads through the planet's water, lifting the energy of all life on Earth. This powerful message inspired what I consider my greatest gift, the planetary healing protocol through water. It's a simple practice anyone can do to help raise the vibration of water worldwide, helping heal the Earth and all who live here. The practice starts with connecting to the planet's water network. Every morning when you wake up, imagine your body, which is about 70% water, linked to every ocean, river, lake, and cloud on Earth. Feel your cells vibrating together with Arctic glaciers, mountain springs, African rivers, and Asian monsoon rains. From this feeling of connection, say this: "Sacred water in my body, you are one with all water on Earth. Through you, I send love and healing to every drop of water on the planet. May all water remember its pure, original state, cleanse itself from any harm, and become a healing medicine for all life." Throughout the day, practice the instant planetary prayer. Whenever you drink water, take a moment to think about its journey over millions of years, how it once filled ancient oceans, fell as rain during the time of dinosaurs, nourished the first forests, and flowed through rivers long gone. With this awareness of its endless journey, send your thanks not just to the water you drink, but to all the water on Earth. Thank you, eternal water, for supporting life for billions of years. May my love and gratitude flow through you to everyone who needs healing anywhere in the world. At night, do the Cosmic Aquatic Network meditation. Sit comfortably and picture Earth from space, seeing all its water glowing with a soft blue-gold light full of pure awareness. Imagine this light connecting oceans to rivers, rivers to lakes, lakes to clouds, clouds to rain, and rain back to springs in an endless cycle of conscious energy. Send your love into this shining network and ask that all Earth's water be blessed, cleansed, and turned into a source of universal healing, so love and peace can spread everywhere, healing conflicts, curing illnesses, and restoring balance between people and nature. Remember this deeply. You are not just an individual interacting privately with water. You are part of a conscious network of water across the planet. and every loving thought you send to water instantly spreads through billions of drops, creating waves of change that can reach anywhere on Earth in seconds. Your personal practice with water is also a service to the whole planet, because when you heal your connection with water, you help heal all the water and all life that depends on it. In the universal consciousness of water, there is no separation between personal and planetary, individual and cosmic, because every drop holds the whole ocean, and every ocean beats with the heart of every drop, joining your soul with the soul of the entire universe. Chapter 10. The Split Bottle Experiment. The strongest proof that water has a kind of selective memory came when I took one sample and split it into 2 identical bottles. Then I focused completely opposite intentions on each and watched how the same water turned into shining, beautiful crystals on one side and chaotic, broken shapes on the other. In the winter of 2001, I faced the toughest scientific challenge of my career. A group of skeptical researchers doubted my results, saying the differences in the water crystals might be caused by things like the environment or chemical differences already in the water. Their criticism hurt, but it pushed me to create the most careful experiment I had ever done. The split bottle protocol. I started with pure distilled water, tested by independent labs to make sure it was exactly the same throughout. No chemical differences. This water was purified through many rounds of distillation and filtration to remove any variables. Then, in a sterile lab, I divided the water into 2 glass containers, each holding exactly 200 milliliters. Both bottles sat on the same table, at the exact same distance from light, heat, and vibration. The room was kept at a steady 20 degrees Celsius, humidity at 45%, and no electromagnetic interference was allowed. The bottles were made from the same batch of glass to avoid material differences. With everything perfectly controlled, I began the most interesting part of the experiment. For 30 minutes, I spoke words of pure love to the left bottle. You are beautiful, sacred water. I love you deeply. You are perfect. Thank you for existing. You are divine. I spoke with an open heart, really feeling the love and imagining golden light flowing from me into the water. At the same time, for the same 30 minutes, I directed words of rejection and hate at the right bottle. I hate you. You are ugly. You disgust me. You're useless and repulsive. Speaking those words was painful, but it was necessary for the experiment, to keep the emotional intensity equal and opposite. After 30 minutes, I froze both samples using exactly the same conditions, same freezing temperature, same time in the cold, same environment. When I looked at the crystals, I was amazed. This was the clearest scientific proof I had ever seen that water can sense and respond differently to different energies. The water that heard love formed crystals more beautiful than anything I had seen before. They were perfect hexagons, perfectly symmetrical, glowing with a light that seemed to come from deep inside. Each crystal was unique, but shared a harmony like sacred mandalas or the stained glass windows of old cathedrals. The water that heard hate formed ugly, broken crystals with no symmetry or beauty at all. They looked like they were screaming, showing the pain they had absorbed. Every molecule seemed physically deformed by the negative energy. The most amazing part? Both bottles started with exactly the same water, in the exact same conditions. The only difference was the words and feelings directed at each one. This meant water not only listens, but can tell the difference and respond specifically to what it receives. I repeated this experiment over 200 times in 2 years, changing the words, the time spent, and the feeling sent to the water. Every time, the water responded exactly as expected. This discovery showed me that water acts like a biological hard drive. It stores, processes, and shows vibrational information better than any human technology. Each molecule is super sensitive, able to tell the difference between love and hate, gratitude and contempt, healing energy and destructive energy. From this, I created the Conscious Aquatic Reprogramming Protocol, a way to use water's ability to help change parts of our lives and health. Here's how it works. Take 2 glasses of the same water and put them in front of you. To the first glass, for 10 minutes, send thoughts about what you want to bring into your life. Water of abundance, bring prosperity to my life. Water of health, heal every cell in my body. Water of love, attract harmony and kindness to my relationships. To the second glass, send thoughts about what you want to release. Purifying water, dissolve all my fears. Transformative water, remove all toxins from my body. Healing water, erase every memory of pain and hurt. Then, drink the water you programmed for what you want to bring in, feeling it deliver that energy to every cell in your body. After that, drink the water programmed for release, imagining it cleansing and carrying away everything you no longer need. This practice uses water as an intelligent messenger that carries different instructions to your body, mind, and spirit. Remember this important truth. The water inside your body has the same ability I showed in the split bottle experiment. It's always listening to your thoughts, recording your feelings, absorbing your words, and showing it all in the reality you live. When you realize you can consciously communicate with your inner water by sending clear, specific instructions, you become the master programmer of your own life. You can create health or illness, abundance or lack, love or fear, just by the energy of the messages you send to the conscious ocean flowing inside you. Chapter 11. The Prayer That Healed the River. The most incredible miracle I've ever witnessed happened when 300 people came together to pray for the dead waters of the Sumida River, and I saw how their shared love brought new life back to an ecosystem that science had said was lost forever. In the summer of 2003, I got an invitation that changed how I see the power of group prayer for healing the environment. A group of spiritual activists from Tokyo, led by a Buddhist nun named Keiko Takahashi, reached out with a bold idea. They wanted to hold a huge prayer ceremony to heal the Sumida River, one of Japan's most polluted rivers. For decades, it had been a dumping ground for industrial waste, sewage, and chemicals. The water was a disgusting gray-green color and smelled bad enough to be noticed from hundreds of feet away. Officials had declared it biologically dead. No fish had lived there in over 20 years, and the plants along the banks were clearly poisoned. When Sister Keiko shared her vision of hundreds of people sending healing prayers to the river, I was skeptical. How could human prayer, no matter how sincere, undo decades of pollution? But my research on how water responds to human energy told me not to underestimate focused collective intention. I agreed to join, but I wanted to study it carefully with scientific methods. 2 weeks before the ceremony, I collected water samples from 12 spots along the river's 15-kilometer urban stretch. Microscopic tests showed what we expected. The crystals formed by this water were a total mess, chaotic, broken, ugly, reflecting the river's chemical death. The ceremony took place at dawn on July 25, 2003, on the Asuma Bridge right in the middle of Tokyo. Exactly 333 people showed up, from all ages and backgrounds: Buddhists, Christians, Shinto followers, meditators, elders, and children. They stood side by side, forming a chain across the entire width of the river. Sister Keiko led with a calm but powerful presence. At 6 a.m., as the first sunlight hit the river's polluted surface, everyone joined in prayer. The words made my skin tingle and brought tears to my eyes. River Sumida, sacred water of our ancestors, forgive us for forgetting your true nature. Forgive us for polluting your purity with our waste, for poisoning your life through our carelessness. We send you all our love, gratitude, and respect. May you remember your original perfection, May your waters cleanse themselves from deep within. May life return to you in abundance. And may you become a healing medicine for the earth and all its creatures. For 2 hours, this prayer was repeated like a powerful mantra that seemed to make the very air hum with love and healing energy. I could physically feel the waves of energy from 300 focused souls reaching into the poisoned water, like each prayer was a beam of divine light shining into the river's darkness. Right after the ceremony, I took new water samples from the same 12 points. When the lab results came back, they blew away my most hopeful expectations. The crystals formed by the water after the prayer showed amazing changes. They were more organized and beautiful. Not perfect yet, but they had symmetry and harmony the water hadn't shown for decades. It was as if the water molecules had started remembering their perfect original structure, beginning a self-healing process that no one thought possible by traditional science. And the changes didn't stop at the microscopic level. In the weeks that followed, the river began to transform visibly. The awful smell faded. The gray-green water lightened. The plants along the banks started to grow new, healthy leaves. The biggest miracle came 3 months later. The first fish returned to the Sumida River in over 20 years. Just a few small carp, but their presence meant life was coming back to a place declared dead. The media called it a mystery science couldn't explain, but I knew exactly what had happened. This experience taught me that when people come together with pure intentions of healing and love, they can actually reverse decades of environmental damage through the power of collective prayer focused on water. It's not about how many people join, but about the honesty of their intentions and the unity of their hearts. From this, I created the Collective Environmental Healing Protocol, a method anyone can use to heal polluted waters, from small streams to whole oceans. The protocol starts by forming a sacred circle. Gather at least 12 committed people around the water you want to heal. The best number is a multiple of 3 because it creates stronger harmonic energy. Stand around the water, forming a circle of focused intention. Then practice syncing your hearts. For 10 minutes, everyone breathes together, feeling their heartbeats match, creating a shared field of love reaching out to the water. Next, say the aquatic restoration prayer together. Sacred water, you who have forgotten your perfection for a time, we send waves of unconditional love from our united hearts. May you remember your original divine nature, free yourself from all harm, welcome life back in abundance and beauty, and become healing medicine for all who depend on you. Finish by visualizing the water fully healed. For 30 minutes, everyone imagines the water sparkling pure and full of life, glowing with golden light. Remember this truth: when people unite in sincere love focused on healing water, they become the spark for environmental miracles that science says can't happen. The water responds instantly to the collective energy of love, starting a self-cleaning process that can undo decades of pollution. Joining these water healing ceremonies isn't just environmental activism, it's a cosmic collaboration. Your heart joins with others to remind the water of its endless power to renew, transform, and come back to the perfection it never really lost, just forgot under layers of human neglect. Chapter 12. My final message to the world. If these are the last words my soul can share with humanity before the water in my body returns to the endless ocean of the cosmos, let them be seeds of light planted in every human heart. Water, love, and gratitude are the 3 sacred keys that can transform this planet into the paradise it was always meant to be. As I write these last lines in my final secret notebook, I feel the water in my aging body vibrating with the wisdom gathered from decades of deep connection with the universe's most sacred element. My hands shake not from old age, but from the powerful feeling of knowing I will soon reunite with the infinite source of all water, carrying every secret the divine liquid revealed during this lifetime. Throughout my life, I've witnessed miracles that defy logic. I've seen words of love turn polluted water into crystals of heavenly beauty. I've watched prayers bring dead ecosystems back to life. I've documented how classical music shapes tiny cathedrals inside simple droplets. I've seen innocent children heal whole communities just by speaking to water with pure hearts. But the three most important truths I want to leave for future generations are these. Truths that can save humanity from heading toward destruction. Water is liquid consciousness. Love is the most powerful frequency in the universe. And gratitude is the master key that opens every door to cosmic transformation. Water is not just H2O. It is the original intelligence of the cosmos, showing itself as liquid, the living record of all universal experience, the infinite library where every thought, emotion, and word since the dawn of time is stored forever. When people finally realize that every drop of water is like a neuron in God's cosmic brain, they will treat it with the respect this sacred substance deserves. Love is not just a human feeling. It is the spiritual force that holds galaxies together, the vibration that makes atoms form everything around us. It's the original frequency from the Big Bang, still echoing in every particle of the universe. When we send true love to water, we're not being sentimental. We're tuning in with the creative force that shapes all reality. Gratitude isn't just a good habit. It's the most advanced spiritual technology there is. It can instantly change the structure of matter, heal diseases once thought incurable, bring abundance from scarcity, and build bridges between worlds science hasn't even imagined. When we express real gratitude to water, we activate hidden quantum codes that can rewrite the laws of physics. In my final years, I dreamed of a future where humanity wakes up to these truths. I saw cities where every drop of water is blessed before use, creating healthy, long-living communities. I imagined oceans glowing with golden light because millions of people send them waves of love and thanks every day, healing centuries of pollution. I saw hospitals using water programmed with healing frequencies instead of chemicals. But I also saw the other path, a world where ignoring water's conscious nature leads to total destruction. Oceans poisoned beyond repair, rivers turned into death traps, acid rain killing plants everywhere, and billions dying of thirst even though they are mostly water. Water that's lost its life-giving power from constant abuse. The future depends on the choices each of us makes right now. Every word, every thought, every feeling you send to water is like a vote for one of these futures. So, as my final spiritual gift, I give you the practice of the 3 sacred codes, the most powerful ritual I know, one that can change your life and help heal the planet. Every morning, before your mind fills with daily worries, hold a glass of pure water and say these 3 codes in order. First, the code of conscious water. Divine water, I honor your true nature. You are not just H2O, but the liquid consciousness of the cosmos. You carry the universe's intelligence, sustaining my life and teaching me its secrets. I respect you as the most sacred substance of creation. Second, the code of universal love. I love you, sacred water, with all my being. My love is cosmic, the same force that holds stars and planets in harmony. Through my love for you, I connect with the creative power that shapes all reality. Third, the code of infinite gratitude. Thank you, blessed water, for nourishing my body and being the way the divine shows up in my life. My gratitude unlocks your power to transform, heal, and create miracles without end. Then drink the water slowly, feeling each sip fill your body with this sacred energy, reprogramming your inner ocean with perfect vibrations. If everyone on Earth did this every day, our planet would become a paradise of health, abundance, and peace within a generation. We don't need fancy technology to heal the world. We just need to remember that we co-create with water and that our words, thoughts, and feelings are the most powerful tools for change. Dear soul reading these words, you're not just a bystander in the cosmic story of life. You are an active creator shaping reality. The water in your body connects instantly to all the water on Earth, and every vibration you send spreads through oceans, rivers, clouds, and rain to every corner of the planet. When you choose to honor water with love and gratitude, you become a light guiding humanity to its highest destiny. Your personal practice is also a global gift, raising the vibration of all water and all life that depends on it. My body will soon return to the stardust it came from, but my spirit will flow forever through the endless water of the cosmos, whispering these secrets to every heart ready to listen. Every time you practice the 3 sacred codes, my spirit will dance with joy in the water molecules you touch with your love. Water never dies or disappears. It only changes form forever. Just like the endless drops of the ocean, our souls are eternal, even though our bodies are temporary. In water, we are all connected in a cosmic dance of infinite love, endless gratitude, and divine consciousness that goes beyond time, space, and even death.